I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix. Angel-headed hipsters burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo in the machinery of night, who poverty and tatters and hollow-eyed and high sat up smoking in the supernatural darkness of cold water flats floating across the tops of cities contemplating jazz, who bared their brains to heaven under the L and saw Mohammedan angels staggering on tenement roofs illuminated, who passed through universities with radiant cool eyes, hallucinating Arkansas and Blake-like tragedy among the scholars of war, who were expelled from the academies for crazy and publishing obscene odes on the windows of the skull, who cowered in unshaven rooms in underwear, burning their money in wastebaskets and listening to the terrors of the war, who got busted in their pubic beards returning through Laredo with a belt of marijuana for New York, who ate fire in paint hotels or drank turpentine in Paradise Alley, death or purgatory their torsos night after night with dreams, with drugs, with waking nightmares, alcohol and cock in endless balls. Incomparable blind streets of shuddering cloud and lightning in the mind leaping towards poles of Canada and Palestine, illuminating all the motionless world of time between. Peyote solidities of halls, backyard, green tree, cemetery dawns, wine drunkenness over the rooftops, storefront burrows of tea-head, joyride, neon, blinking traffic light, sun and moon and tree vibrations in the roaring winter dust of Brooklyn. Ash can rantings and Con King light of mine, who chained themselves to subways for the endless ride from Battery to Holy Bronx on Benzedrine until the noise of wheels and children brought them down shuddering, mouth racked and battered, bleak of brain, all drained of brilliance in the drear light of Zoo, who sank all night in submarine light of Bickfords, foamed out and sat through the stale beer after noon in desolate fugazis, listening to the crack of doom on the hydrogen jukebox, who talked continuously 70 hours from park to pad, to bar to Bellevue, to museum, to the Brooklyn Bridge, a lost battalion of platonic conversationalists jumping down the stoops of fire escapes, off window sills, off Empire State, out of the moon. Yakety, screaming, vomiting, whispering facts and memories and anecdotes and eyeball kicks and socks of hospitals and jails and wars, whole intellect disgorged and total recall for 7 days and nights with brilliant eyes, meet for the synagogue cast on the pavement, who vanished into nowhere, Zen, New Jersey, leaving a trail of ambiguous picture postcards of Atlanta City Hall, suffering Eastern sweats and tangerine bone grindings and migraines of China under junk withdrawal in New York's bleak furnished room, who wandered around and around at midnight in a railroad yard wondering where to go and went leaving no broken hearts, who lit cigarettes at boxcars, rocketing through snow toward lonesome farms and Grandfather Knight, who studied Plotinus Post, St. John of the Cross, telepathy, and Bob Kabbalah because the cosmos instinctively vibrated at their feet in Kansas, who loaned it through the streets of Idaho seeking visionary Indian angels who were visionary Indian angels who thought they were only mad when Baltimore gleamed in supernatural ecstasy, who jumped in limousines with the Chinamen of Oklahoma on the impulse of winter, midnight street, light small-town rain, who lounged hungry and lonesome through Houston seeking jazz or sax or soup, or followed the brilliant Spaniard to converse about America and eternity. A hopeless task, and so took ship to Africa, who disappeared into the volcanoes of Mexico, leaving nothing behind but the shadows of dungarees and the lava and ash of poetry scattered in fireplace Chicago. Who reappeared on the West Coast, investigating the FBI in beards and shorts with big pacifist eyes, sexy in the dark skin, passing out incomprehensible leaflets, who burned cigarette holes in their arms, protesting the narcotic tobacco haze of capitalism, who distributed secret communist pamphlets in Union Square, weeping and dressing while the sirens of Los Alamos wailed them down and wailed down wall, and the Staten Island ferry also wailed, who broke down crying in white gymnasiums, naked and trembling for the machinery of other skeletons, who bit detectives in the neck and shrieked with delight in police cars for committing no crime but their own wild cooking, pederasty, and intoxication. Who howled on their knees in the subway and were dragged up the roof waving genitals and manuscripts and let themselves be fucked in the ass by saintly motorcyclists who screamed for joy, who blew and were blown by those human seraphim, the sailors, caresses of Atlantic and Caribbean love, who bawled in the morning and the evenings in rose gardens and the grass of public parks and cemeteries, scattering the semen freely to whomever come who may, who hiccuped endlessly trying to giggle but wound up with a sob behind a partition in a Turkish bath when the blonde and naked angel came to pierce them with a sword, who lost their loved boys to the three old truths of fate: the one-eyed shoe, the heterosexual doll, the one-eyed shoe that winks out of the womb, and the one-eyed shoe that does nothing but sit on her ass and snip the intellectual golden threads of the craftsman's loom.